Howdy folks, Zethios here, and welcome back to Tyranny. When last we left off, we had some more grave news about Barrack, and left a kid to be raised by the Joker. That sucks. The Voices of Narat as the last regent of Stalwart baby. That is also part of, there's also Graven Ash's granddaughter. So, yeah, that really sucks. So we have a to be continued with Barrack stuff, but now we're here in the Merchant Crossroads to work on Versus side quest. So while we were heading from the Forge to the Merchant Crossroads, we got our answer for Blood and Mark stuff. So let's start off with that. My dear Fatebinder, it's a poorly kept secret that Blood and Mark's job is more than killing threats before they become a problem. Official executions are really the minority of his duties. As I understand it, Kairos has long used Blood and Mark as a preventative measure. Since he can move about the world rather freely, and he can evade all but the most absurd powers, he's the perfect predator to send against wild talents. I'm sure few in the tiers have ever actively wondered why there have been seemingly so few Archons born this far west. I'm sure folks with the potential to be Archons have occurred in the tiers time and time again, but they're usually cut down by Mark before the world hears of them. It's likely safe to assume Bladen Mark has his eye on you and has orders to use his own judgment as to when to strike. I've known the old man for ages, and I'd strongly encourage you not to try to appeal to him with overt displays of loyalty. He has no stomach for sycophants. I sincerely believe he thinks every human being is a selfish, twisted knave, and there are those who are lying about it and those that accept what they are. No third type exists. So yes, I do think Blood and Mark will one day have to come for you. As I said, you could always hide or end your life now. But where you're headed, conflict is likely inevitable. Good to know. Alright, Kairos' Wrath. Thank you for weighing in on all this. To ask perhaps too obvious a question, if I am such an anomaly, such a threat, why hasn't the Overlord dealt with me right away? An edict or just a simple request to Blood and Mark would be no small threat. Neither seems to have happened just yet. What is your take on this? Why hasn't Kairos dealt with me? That is indeed an interesting question. Alright, let's...
I'll stay downwind of our enemies.
Yeah, because your smell. Malfora, hello. Have a look at you, have a talk. Who are you? Is Lathan's Crossing? Malfora, I'm not open for business, friend. I'm not looking for trouble. Basila and Lathan's Crossing expects me with this shipment shortly. Wouldn't want to keep her waiting. The merchant watches you warily as you approach, a heavy pack hanging from her shoulders. Soft and well fed, this one, but look at her stance. She can handle herself. First takes the woman in with a long, appraising gaze. Excuse me, the merchant blinks. Quit the act, give us what we need to know. What did I say? I said let me handle this. Must have been mistaken for someone else, I assure you. Oh fine, the road to Starward is paved in iron for size. The farms of Azure are mostly air. She nods with relief. Queen of Apex died friendless. A bird in the hand is worth a tortoise and a cabbage patch. At least they're not still burning. Yeah, we'll say nothing. Yet their papers aren't aflame. Sorry about the formalities. If word got back to the voices that I was cutting corners on security, let's just say I prefer my tongue in my mouth and my bowels in my, bowels, I guess. She shakes her head. You're a Fatebinder of the Mountain Spire, correct? I'm Malfora. She opens her hand to you, palms out. What do you have for us? Right. Malfora glances between the two of you before her eyes settle on Verse. The man you're interested in calls himself Krokus. No idea whether that's what his mother named him. Showed up in the crossing a few months back, picking fights and looking for rings. He ran afoul of the garrison, and they stomped the pants gravy out of him. And that quieted him down for a bit, but when he started casting around for work again. He boasted of this victory against a band of Furies during the war. Not a smart thing to brag about. Very stupid, in fact. You'd think a story like that would scare off any potential employers, but Asa never has been the brightest ring on the rope. She shakes her head. Who is Asa? A cloth dealer, originally out of the Azure, runs a circuit from the crossing to the brothers and down into the calmer edges of the Blade Grave. He hired Krokus and a few others last week, claiming he needed extra protection for his daughter. Why he had brought his daughter to the crossing in the first place, Overlord only knows. Thoughts? Shit sticks. It's not going to be easy to find a caravan between here and the Blade Grave. First curls her lower lip below her uneven teeth. Luckily for you, I'm very good at what I do. Alfora smiles and produces a scroll from her pack. He usually goes to Stalwart by the way of the Ocean Spire, but he's cutting east to make time and avoid beasts. She wraps a knuckle on a thick black line. Your best bet is to wait for him here at Hunter's Respite. She points to a position just south of Haven. What can you tell me about Hunter's Respite? A small stretch of wilderness far enough off the trade road to dissuade raiders, but near enough to avoid losing much time. The isolation recommends it, but not much else. Honestly, the Respite's starting to get too well known as a stopover. I give it a year before thieves start hitting it, she sighs. Alright, what's your role in this? Just who are you exactly? Mostly I'm open ears. Came up in the bastard tier, but made for Haven when I could leave home. She twitches and waves off a bug that buzzes past you. Started hauling goods between the crossing and Sunder, eventually expanding down to the brothers and even as far as Ardent in a good year. Conquest was bad for business by then, though. I heard and knew a lot more than I did before. Thought I could turn a profit swapping information with the Archon. I thought right. Not that I'm complaining, mind you. Hail Kairos. She straightens and quickly salutes. So I'm supposed to wait for him and hope he shows up? You want to catch Krokus? Yes. Ace has taken the southern road out of Haven, so he'll almost certainly stop there. He's never made a great secret about it being his favorite resting spot. Stop around these parts. Right? Well, thanks. Yeah, thanks. When we find this bastard, we'll open him from balls to chin. Oh my gosh, verse. You now know everything I know about this so-called Fury Slayer. If you have any other questions, you'll have to ask someone else. He bows informally at the waist. Okay. Me take what's in your cart. Alright, so this is it. This is all that's here in Merchant's Crossing. Cool. Alright, so we got a Hunter's Respite. Freaking verse, I swear. Cut him from balls to chin. Yikes. What do we got here? We have just Lathan's Crossing guys. Deft Blade, Snapshot, and Sentinel. Are they gonna say anything? Can we talk to them? As you approach the bronze-clad caravan guards, they look you up as one, leaving dice and rings on the ground as their hands move to weapons. Who goes there? Actually, you know what? Doesn't matter. Turn back the way you came, stranger, or things will get bloody with a quickness. Things will get bloody with a quickness. I see some caravan guards, but not the caravan. Why are you over here? I don't see how that's any of your business. He glances over his shoulder towards the north and back to you. We're paid guards. We get paid to guard. We don't pick where we guard, and we don't ask why about the where. That made sense, right? His brow knits and he looks to one of his fellows. The other guard shrugs. Barrick, I understood perfectly. Of course you did, Bronze Brain. You have questions in need of answering, you speak to Krokus. Find him up the hill to the west. Alright. He just told us where Krokus is, so let's go after Krokus. Dagnabbit. What? Are you stupid? I told you to screw it. Blades out, everyone. Send these dipshits back to Kairos in pieces. Whoops. Dagnabbit.
Send me your champion!
I didn't know. I didn't know you would do this. Yeah, nab it. Alright, well, that's one down.
You got it.
Alright, you can hobble. You can
On it.
do that. Nice stun.
What was it? Think.
Go ahead and
Right.
get that guy some poison.
Right.
Alright, just one more to go. And he's on fire, and he has water over his head. What a way to go. Love those combos. Back to barricaded a bit. Alright, what do we got? A ransacked cart seems to have been hastily hidden behind some... Oh, wait. Hey, Binder, look at this. First lifts bolts of fine cloth from a crate at the back of the cart. No wear or tear. This has to be freshly woven. Asa peddles cloth, right? So where is he? She frowns at her fingertips and rubs them together. Dried blood. Keep on your toes. This stinks higher than the spires. Yeah, there's a... Eastman over there. Alright, what did it say? Okay, ransacked cart seems to have been hastily hidden behind some foliage. It contains several crates filled with bolts of unsoiled cloth and unspoiled food.
On the lookout.
Alright, what do we got here? There's Krokus, the Beastman. There's Cario, snapshot. A tall, thin man in bronze and leather scrutinizes your approach, hand on the hilt of his blade. That's far enough, stranger. Oi, Krokus, we got company. His voice comes out low and rough, a tears-accented growl. A massive man answers the lookout's cry, his approach marked by a pronounced swagger. Krokus rests his massive axe on one broad shoulder. His hair seems to have migrated largely from his scalp to his chin, and the veins at his temples stand out against his deeply tanned skin. Couldn't help but notice the ruckus down the hill. I assume you're responsible for that. Besides Cario here, I got an entire squad behind me, experienced warriors all, so I'm left wondering, who the fuck are you? We can say, speaking down the hill, is he the merchant Asa, and this your loudmouth daughter. Or Krokus, the rest of you have one chance to deal with the guts that's still inside you. Yeah. Yeah, we'll say that. What? Asa's back down by... He's elsewhere. Cario and Krokus exchange confused blinks. I brought a few of my people to make sure that the clearing was as clear as he claimed, which it clearly isn't. His head lifts to the side. You're raiders, then? We've got nothing worth killing over. It ain't worth your time, nor trouble to start shit with us. Speaking down the hill, let's talk about that cart full of cloth we found. What about it? Belongs to the merchant regarding. Glances askance at Cario. Couldn't help but notice the ruckus down the hill. Where is the merchant? He's emptying his bowels. He wanted some privacy. He must have stayed back with the cart. Camp in his cart, he scowls. How incredibly convincing. Did you practice those lines? She rolls her eyes. Do you not have someone else you can go harass? I couldn't help. Yeah. Alright. I'm Fatebinder, and this is Verse. I'm about to adjudicate your head open. Justice for my Fury sister, she grins hungrily. Oh shit. To arms, to arms. Mercenary blinks rapidly as recollection sets in. Oh gosh, we got beasts and
Send them at me.
crap going on. Yeah, let's do that.
God damn
Very nice.
it! How am I not dead yet?
Very nice. Alright. Take that person out. Do death from above him.
Good work.
Alright. Good stuff there. Put them on fire. Bleed that
Right.
one.
Hey!
And, well, not bleed. Poison that one.
Nobody
that
saw
one.
that, right?
Alright. You use your missile already. Alright, there's the person I deem to be like the biggest threat, really. Alright, they're basically... Krokus is already basically done for. Go ahead and do that. Go ahead and heal up. You have anything of use? Yes. Lift them up. Or not. Lift them
Whatever
up.
you need.
Use that.
Take that.
Come
That one
on.
rattled me.
There we go. Pretty good stuff. Alright, here he is. Here's what we got. Hold for the love of Kairos. He clasped his chest, blood oozing between his fingers. Hold like you held when you and your friends killed my fucking sisters? For the love of Kairos, indeed. Her words escape her clenched teeth in a half-hissed breath. She slips a small knife from her boot, and in a flash of bronze opens the fallen man's cheek. Ouch. Good lord. Hold, please wait. I'm not proud of what I did back then. I'm a changed man, I swear it by the Overlord. I got a wife now. She's asleep right over there. He points back towards the nearby tents and bedrolls. Are you freaking kidding? You freaking like took over this merchant caravan. Earn an honest living by the damn axe. I protect licensed traders. You're not proud. You've been boasting about it all over Haven. Your wife slept through this noise. We'll talk about this first. What? No, you don't understand. I couldn't find work otherwise. I thought maybe I could win a few fights in the crossing to prove my mettle, but the fucking guards there jumped me as a group. I had to tell people about the Furies. It was talk about your sisters or starve and let my wife starve, he looks diverse. Is this better than starving? Her boot comes down hard on his ankle, eliciting an audible snap. The sound dissipates into his scream. My Overlord helped me. I never wanted to hurt anyone. It was my damn job. I swore an oath to an Apex Lord because I wanted bed and food, not because I thought Kairos would ever come to the tears. He sobs. That oath didn't just dissolve when your armies passed the gates to judgment. I had to kill conscripted tearsmen by the gang, and yes, I helped kill your friends. His head droops, a pink froth of sweat, mucus, and blood dripping from the tip of his nose. Ugh. Not friends, asshole. Sisters. Sisters, then. It wasn't my idea. Caterus had the location. Sick bastard wanted to cook them with his flames. Orisa, she wanted to hunt Furies, wanted a head on a pike. She could wave at her enemies before battle. I was just there following orders. You say Caterus cooked people. Never actually saw him eat anyone, but I'm sure he did. You could see it in his eyes when he looked at you, that hunger. He was a sage, so maybe that explains that Overlord knows what those scroll fuckers do in their libraries. Jeez. We took one of you alive, you know. What? What the fuck are you talking about? Her eyes widen. After you disappeared, we realized that one of your Furies was still alive, the big bald one. Caterus took her, never saw her after. He silenced by his fist. Liar. She punched him again and again. Where is Caterus now? I don't know. I swear by everything and everyone I'll tell you. I'd tell you if I knew. He probably died in the Edict of Fire. Served her might have so. If not, well, he deserves this treatment more than me. Where can I find Orisa? After that Fatebinder killed the queen, Orisa's will to fight only intensified. The crazy bitch couldn't lay down her spear. Last I heard, she was down by the Blade Grave, joined up with those stalwart shithills, killing his favorite in the Overlord's endless storm. Here. He fumbles with the case at his side before offering a well-sold parchment in his blood-slick fingers. This was from her. She wanted me to come find her and take up arms again. I didn't write back. I'm changed. I love the Overlord. Praise Kairos. Some orders you don't follow. Have sworn loyalty to Kairos. Go hunt Orisa. Go kill Caterus. They're your true enemies. They're the ones who deserve your justice. He tries to push himself away from verse, but his heels skid uselessly, plowing furrows into the bloody muck. Don't worry, we will, grasping his gore-matted beard. She jerks his chin upwards and places the knife against his exposed throat. Please. A bubble of pink mucus expands and contracts and looks natural. We'll remain silent. This one's for Seeking Sheath. She rams the blade into his eye, twisting it roughly, digging it deeper into his skull as he screams. He bucks and spasms violently. Ugh. Careful there. Once revenge starts to turn you on, the habit is hard to shake. Inhales sharply, a wicked smile crossing her face. Damn, Eb. I realize. Uncharacteristically silent, Barrick watches with crossed arms. Thanks, Fatebinder. She proffers you a curt nod.
Orisa's next. Let's go find her.
She turns to go, but comes to a stop instead. She lets out a quiet sigh and looks back to you.
Seeking was special, you know.
Seeking was special? Okay. Yeah, tell me about her.
Seeking was all dynamo. Short, with hair like moss on a stone and skin the color of the night sky. Laughed at everything, even insults.
She smiles wistfully. Oh, you two loved each other.
She never stopped moving. If we camped, she paced the tents or palisades, always pushing us to get on.
She lets out a low chuckle.
Part of it was the gambling. People would stop taking her bets after a day or two. The first time she says she can put a javelin in an apple at 100 yards, a man puts rings down. The second time, he's willing to go double or nothing. The third, that's when he stops betting.
Alright, she sounds amazing.
Kairos' crooked cock, was she?
Oh my god. She echoes your laugh.
Crazy thing about Seeking? It wasn't raw talent. She practiced that shit. The spear work and the javelins, practiced every hour she wasn't sleeping or on assignment. She'd thread the sky with 3 or 4 javelins and dance towards her foe with a spear longer than she was tall. She'd knock a soldier's feet out from under him and let the javelin pin him to the ground. That's her name. Her spears found their marks as if they sought them.
We're not gonna say I thought it might be a sex thing. I'd say go on.
Her name meant more than the spear play. Seeking always sought, always looked for new things, new experiences, new stories, new men, new bits of lore. In summer, she'd collect stinging insects, fill thin clay jars with them, and smash them against her foes. No fight was ever even for Seeking. You either got the drop, or you got dropped. Thanks. You know, for listening.
She shakes her head roughly, as if clearing the fog from it.
Let's go. This oath-breaking scumsack won't hunt herself.
Right. So we're gonna find out. Young woman lies on a bedroll. Her breathing is slow and heavy. Oh shit. Veer peers down on the sleeping girl, whose tightly curled hair is strewn haphazardly about her caramel brown features. She drops to a knee, checking over Krokus's captive. The girl's eyes flutter open, staring blankly, the pupils reducing her cloudy brown irises to thin rings. Father? Where's father? Her eyes close again, and her muscles remain entirely limp. Asa's daughter. What do you think? Iris lays her down gently and then stands up looking for you. No. I'll leave her some supplies, enough for her to get her back to the crossing. Rush nods, and the two of you set a few skins of water, some dry rations near the girl's prone form. There's fruit and grain in the cart, too, and cloth to carry it, assuming she has any appetite after seeing this slaughter. Let's go, Fatebinder. I'm sick of this place. Iris shakes her head. Yeah, he was a piece of crap. So, Dad's probably dead somewhere, and he's just decided he was gonna take this girl.
You got
He
it.
tried to pass her off as his wife to try and get mercy from us. No. We already have our answer from her. Yes, we do. So let's read that. Alright. Now it's just calling me Archon. Archon Zethios. Not Fatebinder Zethios, but Archon Zethios. That's a first. Allow me to address you by such a title before it becomes fashionable to do. I pride myself as a woman who stays ahead of the trends. Kairos smites some, but allows others to exist is a question we all ponder. The Overlord can certainly appear arbitrary, and if I've learned anything, that's the point. Kairos is intentionally aloof and distant, both for matters of personal security and because if you had to wrangle the most powerful entities of Tyranny, you need to keep them from getting too comfortable. To me, the most obvious answer is that Kairos knows exactly what you are doing. She probably approves of your actions and is likely working at every opportunity to create a situation wherein you are acting in your own self-interest while satisfying her ambitions as well. You have to consider one important detail. There's nowhere left in Tyranny to conquer now that the tears are in the Overlord's grasp. What would the great generals even do in a time of peace? The voice of Naran is barely tolerable when you have need of a spy master. Why keep around such a monster when you no longer have need of such a gruesome weapon? I would argue it's in Kairos' interest that the Tears be a costly invasion that claims the lives of as many of the Archons as possible. Not enough meat on the Tears to keep too many sharks sated very long. Kairos ordered everyone to take Ascension Hall or die. The or die must have been an acceptable option, correct? If I had to hazard a guess, I'd say you have the unspoken backing of the Overlord. It's not like Blood and Mark can't find you whenever he wants. Well, that's comforting. Alright, so where should we go next? Go after the Sage. We have Torn Strand, which is Versus next thing. And then we also have, of course, Cacophony. Let's head to the Sage. We had a thing about the bird. The bird came back with the same message that we sent. So the bird didn't find him. Alright, the air shimmers around you, the trees along the path shuddering, shrinking, and sprouting arms as trunks split into legs. An arcane illusion, you realize, and in its place men and women in soot-dusted clothes, quills tucked into hats, and jars of acrid scented potions hanging from their belts. A woman steps forth, her right eye a mass of burn scars, her left narrowed at you in abject loathing. The school of ink and quill is not done with you, Binder, she spits. The Vellum Citadel remembers what others forget. Mere death would be too merciful for you, Firestarter. Your actions demand complete erasure, to be burned away as so much lore has been by your hand. Fingers flicker before her, catching arcane energy up in ancient sigils. Prepare to be forgotten. So we can attack them, speak to them, or flee. Let's try and speak to them. Your hand nears your weapons. You consider your words carefully. We can try to diffuse the situation. We can threaten them, or 10,000 rings bribe them. Definitely don't have that. Let's try to diffuse the situation. Hands empty, you speak to the historians in the quiet, even tones of a scriptorium. Enough, the magician barks. You will not convince us of your respect for our work. Only the void awaits you. They begin chanting. Well, we got a fight here, boys.
Heads up, we have
Yes, we do. We have lots of company. Look at that. So many of these guys. So you probably just need to get in on that stuff. Focus down this side. I got mirrored image going on. Let's go ahead and
As you wish.
arcane missile up. Alright. Barrack should be fine.
Will do.
Go ahead and do the water torture stuff. Oh, it's got a fireball. Ow, ow, ow. So many spells. Alright. One down, one to go. On that side, at least. Can we... Can do that. And then... What else? This guy came over.
Whatever you need.
Alright, go ahead and do that verse. Go ahead and leg sweep. Get these big old dummies. Alright. Take them down. You do Bloodsoaked Stone. Alright, another one down. 2. God, Barrack is just going ham. Just taking it all. Alright. Go ahead and
As you wish.
do your bubble. Very nice. They're done for. Alright, here we go. Alright, let's arcane it up. What the heck? That person like invis himself? Hmm. Alright, you definitely need to be shot. Get there. Use your bubble. And then throw him up, knock him down. Barrick, you go to that guy. Eb's got this guy. Okay. These big old dummies from the school of Ink and Quill. Think they can take us on. Alright. We got some stuff. This just an arena? Like a temporary map?
No dice. Not happening.
I think so. Bitch's Day. Yeah, it's just a little in-betweener area. Alright, so we've made it to this area. Find the sage that summoned you. Ruins of the estates. Find the whereabouts of Sage L. Alright, let's put that down.
Cut the banter and stay low.
Let's head through. See what we got going on in here. There are gonna be Banes here. Not gonna be happy if there are Banes here. Well, this estate is very decrepit. Very decrepit looking. Like... And someone... Hello. Gwyneth. Oh no, it's Gwyneth Paltrow. Alright, well, we'll speak to Gwyneth Paltrow and her pals next time. So, till next time, this has been Zethios, signing off for now. Bye, folks.